What is up, guys? My name is Ron here. Welcome back. Today we're back with more League of Legends, and today this is not playing gameplays and stuff. I'll be playing some games, some modes later on the League of Legends. This part here I'll be playing very soon. However, I want to talk about the Darkins. Now, I know some people already have talked about the Darkins and stuff like that. Some even have created a video about who the Darkin is and many more. So obviously, this is my own opinion here, and this is what I thought. This is my details about the Darkins. Now, for most of you who have already known who the Darkins are, basically they are living weapons. Now, during the previous video that I did was about the various music video. I talked about two couples, not brothers, but two couples, because I already read your comments. Where is the YouTube thing? Because I already read your comments. I already read your comments on the, what's the video called again? Let me just go back to my channel right here again and show you guys. Alright, so this was the video that you guys were talking about, that hey Brian, they're not couples, and yeah, they're not couples. I mean, sorry, they're not brothers, but they're couples and many more. So I already have received all your comments here. Thank you, really, thank you for all your comments here. I really took notices of all of them. And yeah, and I heard that someone, like one of you, mentioned about the various the upcoming event, the Darkin event, which they're gonna come out. I heard from you, Nicola. I actually read your comments as well. Don't you forget. So yeah, which I'm actually kind of excited. So in the previous video that I reacted to, the various SV4 music video, I was pretty interested about whether Varus was a Darkin, and it proves that he is a Darkin, because I knew from the very beginning, because before the video started, before the video released, I knew that they're going to come out with the next video because they already released it on the League of Legends website. And I thought to myself that Varus definitely, in my opinion, is a Darkin, and it proves that after watching the SB4 video, I went and watched the Retribution, the various Retribution, and it proves that he is a Darkin. So because he has a relationship with Aatrox and Kayn, which Kayn is actually not, is basically a follower of Zad the Shadow, one of the ninja clan, the Shadow clan. He's an Ionian actually, but he's holding the weapon of one of the Darkins, which it says here. Who is the Darkin? Rost. Yes. So the Darkin's name is Rost. So so far we only know a few champions who use the Darkin weapons, and obviously Varus, as we already know that they released the music video, it shows that yes, Varus is proven to be a Darkin. So it's good that they have already proven it. Now let's see, because all we know is only 3 people in the League of Legends universe who are actually Darkins. Now one of them is definitely Aatrox. Now we all know Aatrox is a Darkin. He is a living weapon. He is basically a sword, a moving sword that can basically walk on its own and move by its own. But sadly, he mysteriously vanished for no reason, and no one knows why. So Aatrox is one of my favorite champions. I main Aatrox a lot. So he is basically like one of the 5 horsemen in the Darksider series. Is basically like exact same thing like the Darksiders. Like there's the 5 horsemen. One is war, one is death, one is well, I don't know, one is using guns, the other using whips and all kinds of sashes and stuff. But it's interesting because the Darkins, the 5 Darkins, are somewhat relatable to Darksiders, the horsemen. So as we all know, Aatrox, Kayn, and Varus are actually Darkins. So because Varus takes the form of a bow, Kayn takes Kayn, who is Rost, who takes as the form of the scythe, and Aatrox takes the form of the sword. So this is actually interesting. However, we do not know the other 2 Darkins yet. However, there might be a theory that that who is his name again? That Tryndamere, the demon blade Tryndamere, could be that skin itself shows that maybe that skin is a darkened skin for Tryndamere. Maybe his blade, because when you play as the demon, I forgot what the skin is called again. I'm gonna search for it. Where is Tryndamere? Tryndamere, where are you? I need you, Tryndamere. Where is Tryndamere? Yeah, there he is. Alright, because Tryndamere's skin, which is this skin right here, which is actually a legendary skin, and according to some people, they said that this skin is, it could be a theory that this skin could be a darkened skin for Tryndamere, because his blade kind of breathes, and I kind of seen this skin before through gameplay. It's pretty cool, but this could be a theory that this skin could be a darkened skin for Varus. However, it might not. I might be wrong here, but there could be other people. There could be other champions who are like, I don't know, like could be either Kindred, who could be a Darkin, I don't know, but who knows, one of these champions could be a Darkin or whatever, I don't know, guys, but make sure you guys continue searching, or it could be two Darkins that have not been shown up yet, because we only know 3 Darkins only: Aatrox, Kayn, and Varus. Because like I said, Varus, most of the taunts and most of the talking, like when you play in game, and then there's some interactions here and there that you can use. Like Aatrox talks to Varus, and it seems that Aatrox know who Varus is, and when Kayn, who basically takes the form of Rast, the way, because Kayn can switch to Rast, or Kayn can switch to Kayn himself. That depends on how you choose. For me, if I play as Kayn, I'll rather pick as Rast, because it will be interesting, because Rast, the way he interacts with Varus is more like in the beginning, before we all knew who Varus is a Darkin. First of all, we do not know in the beginning, before the music video, SB4 music video shows up, we did not know fully if Varus was a Darkin, until, like, because we use Kayn and then we do the interaction with Varus and Kayn. They seem to know each other, so ended up, it proves that Varus is a Darkin. And the 2 other mysterious Darkin is that we don't really know who they are just yet. I just hope that Riot will release them as champions, which it would be interesting. So yeah, after all, the way Aatrox, the story is written for Aatrox is really interesting, because he vanishes through the battle, because Aatrox was fighting in a battle many centuries ago in Runeterra, and they kind of like because he kind of like did something in Runeterra where he tried to destroy, basically the Darkin's main goal is to basically destroy the world. But sadly enough, mysteriously Aatrox went missing. No one knows how Aatrox basically vanishes, and yeah, until Kayn, who is basically controlling the Darkin, Rast, who is a Scythe. Kayn somehow, I don't know how Kayn found the Scythe, but we do know that Kayn is related to Zed, which I'm not going to touch on that, because we all know that Kayn is somewhat a partner with Zed. Now, the cool thing is that Rast, is the way he interacts with Varus is almost as if like he wants to like join forces and stuff like that with Varus to conquer the world, but doesn't really care much about Aatrox. So the Kayn storyline is a little bit twisty here and there, a little bit complicated. But if you guys want to know more, I'll be gladly for you guys to actually kind of like read the biograph here, because I'm not going to read it because it's kind of long, and I don't want to actually take up too much time here because I gotta play some videos later, some League of Legends modes just to familiarize everything. So yeah, that's Kane's weapon. Now Varus, like I already said, we all know how Varus was born and stuff like that. We know that Varus takes the form of the bow, but he basically consumes both the couple's body and fuse them together to make it one. It's really interesting. And yeah, his biograph is basically, because they kind of updated his biograph, so I actually wouldn't mind reading you this, because I don't want to read Kane and Aatrox's one because they are quite long. I think Aatrox's one is a little bit short, but I don't want to. I just don't want to touch both Aatrox and Kane. But I only want to touch on Varus' storyline because his one is updated. So yeah. Or you know what? Fuck it. I'll read all of this just to let you guys understand, and then I can explain it for you guys. You know what? Fuck it. I'll explain it for you guys. So we'll start with Aatrox first, then only get to Varus. Okay, Aatrox, the Darkin Blade. Aatrox is a legendary warrior. Yes, we all know that. One of the only 5 that remain of an ancient race known as the Darkin. So, like I said, the last 5 of it. Of the Darkins, 2 are missing, only 3 are known in the League Legend. Ancient race known as the Darkin. He wields his massive blade with the grace and poise, slicing through legions in a style of that is hypnotic to behold, with each foe felled. Aatrox's seemingly living blade drinks in their blood, because how Aatrox basically absorbs. The same goes to Kane and Varus, but Kane is as well the same thing, because Kane, Rust is basically like you slash on an enemy or kill an enemy. Basically, the blade kind of drinks the blood. Same goes to Aatrox. Every slash he makes, he drinks the blood of the enemy. That is actually really cool, but at the same time really is disgusting. But that is how they live. So for Varus is somewhat a little bit different, but I'll touch on that because his bio story kind of like updated. So I have to read for you guys after I finish reading Aatrox and Kane. So the earliest tale of Aatrox is as old as recorded history. It tells of a war between 2 great factions. Remembered only as the Protectorate and the Mage Lords. So the Mage Lords, like I said, I didn't touch on this yet, but I should explain who they are. So the Protectorate, as you guys see on the League of Legends map, there is the blue and there's the red nexus. Now the blue nexus is the Protectorate. These guys right here. And the red one are the Mage Lords. Now, if you look carefully at the Easter eggs inside the Summoner's Rift, you get a rough story of how the war between the Protectorates and the Mage Lords were fighting together. Not together, but fighting each other. And then Aatrox, in the middle of the battlefield, just appears there and slaughters both sides, the Mage Lords and the Protectorates. However, the Protectorates kind of won the battle, but they kind of felt like there was something wrong. But I won't touch on that one. I just want to give you guys a rough background knowledge about it. Let me just drink a small sip of water because my mouth is dry. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, back in business. So that is how it is for the Protectorate and the Mage Lords, because they were fighting each side. Because, like I say, the Mage Lords are the red ones and the Protectorates are the blue ones, and they fight one another. Which in the game itself, they kind of tell the story between why Aatrox was out of nowhere just appeared and then started slashing both sides and stuff like that. So let me just continue reading for you guys. Over time, the Mage Lords, it's not the Protectorate, it's the Mage Lords, won a series of crushing victories, leaving them on the brink of obliterating their sworn enemy forever. On the day of their final confrontation, the Protectorate army found themselves outnumbered, exhausted, and poorly equipped. They braced for inevitable defeat. Just when all hope seemed lost, Aatrox appeared among the ranks of the Protectorate. Oh, I'm wrong. So, which means Atrox is with the Protectorate. He didn't appear out of nowhere. So the Mage Lord was at first taking over, was winning, but with Atrox, with the Protectorate's side, Atrox was able to conquer and make the Protectorates win. So let me just continue. Just when all hope seemed lost, Atrox appeared among the ranks of the Protectorates. But a few words, he urged the soldiers to fight to the last before throwing himself into battle. I see. So he was the last one. He was willing to use the Protectorate soldier. He just said, you guys go first, I'll be the last. Because I think his intention was to drink the blood of the enemy. So I'm not sure, but I'll just continue talking here to basically let you guys understand. His presence inspired the desperate warriors. At first, they could only watch in awe as this unknown hero. So the Protectorates don't really know much about this hero. Unknown hero cleaved through the enemies, his body and blade moving in unison as if one being. Soon the warriors found themselves imbued with a potent thirst for battle. They followed Atrox into the fray, with each fighting with the furious strength of 10 until they had won a most unlikely victory. Atrox vanished after that battle, but the Protectorate's army's newfound fury did not. The surprising truth led to many more until they were able to finally return home victorious. Their countrymen hailed them as heroes, but though they had saved their entire civilization from destruction, darkness lingered in the mind of each warrior. Something within them that had changed. Over time, their memories of the battle faded, only to be replaced with a grim revelation. Their acts of heroism were, in fact, brutal atrocities committed by their own hands. So, which means Atrox was basically, you know, if you guys understand this, he resembles as war, which I will show you guys. Hang on, let me just Darksiders. I would like to show you who the characters are. So I'm going to show you images. So this guy here, who is War, I need to show you who War is first. This isn't clear. Darksiders, War. So Atrox is basically the resemblance of War. You see? Because if you guys are Darksiders fans, I am a Darksider fan. And Atrox, is somewhat resembling the same thing as War. And Cain is somewhat resembles as Death. For Varus, I don't know who he is fully, but he resembles to someone like one of the brothers, one of the Darksider brothers, one of the Horseman brothers, who is wielding the gun. I forgot his name, but I will show you it when the game comes out. So let me just continue the story here. So most likely, because since Atrox was with the Protective, they saw how Atrox brutally slaughtering all the Mage Lords. But then it seems that the Protectorates were somewhat ended up being corrupted by Atrox's madness, his brutality, his way of killing people must have corrupted the Protectorate's mind. They somewhat realized that hey, what we did in that battle before was horrible. It's like they begin to realize that shit, what we've done is somewhat horrifying. So I think they begin to realize that what they did was wrong, and ended up most of the people in the Protectorate side are beginning to be a little bit corrupted due to Atrox's viciousness in the battlefield. So this is actually interesting because something within them had changed. So obviously they became crazy So yeah, tales like this uproar among the midst of many cultures. If they are all be believed, Aatrox's presence has changed the course of some of the most important wars in history. So Aatrox made a history, and I like it. Though these stories remember him as a savior in dark times, Aatrox's true legacy may be a world filled with conflict and strife. You see, Aatrox is, like I said, he's more like an in-between. A same goes to Kane's weapon, Rast, and Varus, because most of the storyline of what I see on Kane's side, Varus' side as well, including the music video on what I just saw, is like an in-between on both peace and war. Like, one, for example, two factions. One of the faction believes in peace, in harmony. It's just like Final Fantasy Dissidia. It's more like Cosmos versus Chaos. You get, if you guys who are Final Fantasy fans, you definitely get what I mean. Like the good versus the bad. So it kind of proves that Kane, Ross's story and Varys' story is somewhat almost the same as well. It's like the Darkins are like the in-between of like when both are fighting together, they are at the center. So they either help both or they either go into the battle like they're tigers. Like for example, like a boar fight against a boar, like they are challenging to get a mate, but all of a sudden there's a crocodile just waiting for one of them to gain victorious, and then that crocodile just jumps out of nowhere and then just eats the one who claimed the victory, like that. You probably get what I'm trying to say here. So the Darkins are like that, which kind of makes me feel like it is what they are. It is what they're supposed to do. That makes the story even more cooler, and I like it. So, back to it. Aatrox mysteriously vanishes out of nowhere. Probably he's somewhere, just like the Darksiders storyline, where you have to summon the horsemen. Basically, I think he went back to where he originally belonged, which we do not know where he went back. But all we do know that he appeared in Runeterra. Same goes to Kane and Varys. They all are in Runeterra. So yeah, but for Varys' case, he was basically prisoned in the well, which we don't know why he was prisoned. Probably because he was creating chaos and many more. So that's all for Aatrox's storyline. Let's get to Kane's storyline. Kane, the Shadow Reaper. So obviously, some of you already know that Kane is somewhat related to Zed, because Zed trains Kane, because his power, Kane's power and Zed's power are almost, yeah, they're the same. But his weapon, Kane's using the darkened weapon, which is Rast. So this is actually interesting. Appearing as a practitioner of lethal shadow magic, Shielda Kane. So this is his full name, Shielda Kane. Battles to achieve his true destiny, to one day lead the Order of the Shadows. So he's basically trying to, he's basically an apprentice to Zed, because Zed is the master of the shadows. But when Kane takes over Zed, when Zed dies, then probably Kane will become, will be leading the Order of the Shadow into a new era of Ionian supremacy. All right, he audaciously, I didn't see this properly, audaciously wields the sentient Darkin weapon Rast, undeterred by its creeping corruption of his body and mind. There are only two possible outcomes: either Kane bends the weapon to his will, or the malevolent blade consumes him completely, paving the way for the destruction of all Runeterra. Exactly. So because because Darkins are weapons, they are living weapons, and if someone were to if a user used that weapon, obviously that person will begin to get corrupted and a bit of like being consumed a little bit, like consume a small percentage of that person's body. So this is interesting. All right, there are only two possible outcomes: whether either Kane's basically kind of submits to Rost, or he kind of makes the weapon bend to his will. So that's why in the game we have two choices: whether we want Rost or whether we want full control using Kane. But most players like to let Rost take over the character's body. But you know, Noxian by birth, Kane and others like him. So he was originally a Noxian. I see. Kane and others. No wonder Kane was really lethal, because the way Kane acts and talks is similar to basically a Noxian, which he does look a little bit like a Noxian to me. And others like him are conscripted as child soldiers. Oh, wow. A cruel practice employed by only the most devious commanders of the Empire. So the Noxians use children. Wow, that's sickening. Ionia compassion was a weakness to be exploited. The Iron Warriors would hesitate before striking down a supposed innocent. That's actually a smart move, but damn, you're using a child as a weapon. That's shit. Thus barely able to lift the blade he had been given, Kane's first day in battle was also expected to be his last. The Noxian forces landed at the mouth of Epool River. Kane and the others were reluctant vanguard, facing disorganized bands of locals defending their home from these returning invaders. While his young comrades were cut down or fled the battlefield, Kane showed no fear. So he is one of the 1,000 kids who are basically in battle, just went straight on and just started slaughtering everyone. He dropped his heavy sword and snatched up a fallen sickle, turning to face the shocked Ionians just as the Noxian regulars swept in from the flank. The carnage was staggering. Farmers, hunters, even a handful of Vastaya. Oh shit! If you guys don't know the Vastaya, oh my god! So Kane. Oh, now I get it. Why the Vastaya basically the couples, the bird couples. Who are they called again? Who are they called again? Let me just go to my League of Legends here and just show you guys who they are. Who are the couples again? The bird couples. I forgot who they are. Give me a moment. Let me just enter in with a. Damn it! Session rate expired. Come on. Let me enter. Hang on, guys. Let me just show you guys. Oh, I should have gone there. And you know what? I'll just go to my collection and show you the champions. Who are the couples again? Where is she? If you guys don't know who the Vastaya are, I bet you guys who are basically League of Legends fans, you basically know who the Vastaya are. Where are the Vastayas? Where are the two Vastayas? Ah, yes, Zaya and Rakan. Yeah, these two Vastaya, Zaya and Rakan are actually the bird people. So Kane was the one who slaughtered most of the Vastaya. No wonder the Vastaya was so pissed off with the Ionians. So that connects the story. Alright. All were butchered without ceremony. Oh man, that's so dark. No, wait. But Vastayas hate the Ionians. But wait a minute. No, Noxians and the Ionians were also. Oh shit! Hang on. Even a handful of Vastaya. Well, wait. I'm a bit confused here. So the Noxians, they were the one who shocks the who basically are enemies with the Ionians, but the Ionians Oh, it's because of the Shadow clan, the Zat clan, because um because the Vastaya, they knew Cain, so then after Cain left the Noxian forces, he joined the Shadow. He joined with Zad. I get it. All right. This is getting interesting. 2 days later, after word had spread throughout the southern territories, the Order of the Shadows came up upon the grisly scene. Their leader Zad knew this area had no tactical significance. This massacre was intended as a message. Noxus would show no mercy. A flickering glint of steel caught his eye. A child no more than 10 lay in the mud, leveling his broken sickle at the master assassin. Bloody knuckles straining white, the boy's eyes harbored a pain of belied his age, yet still burned with all the fury and of a hardened warrior. Oh man, the Noxians really drive Shilda Kane into somewhat a madman now. Holy shit. This tenacity was not something that could be just taught. Zad saw in this child, this abandoned Noxian survivor, a weapon that could be turned against those who had sent him here to die. The assassin held out his hand and welcomed Cain into the Order of the Shadow. So that's how Cain joined the Order of the Shadow. This means the Vastaya, they must have knew Cain, because Cain was the one who slaughtered the Vastaya and the rest, and some of the Ionians as well. Maybe the Vastaya, it has to do something with the Vastaya. Maybe because the Vastaya was basically allies with the Ionians until the Vastaya not realizing that it was not the Ionians' fault. It was the Noxians, but the Vastaya also knew that Cain was the one who slaughtered most. So I think the Vastaya knew Cain after he joined the Order of the Shadow. After he left, he joined the Order of the Shadows. That's when okay, it could be. It's just a theory. I have to look at Darkin and Zaya's storyline just to get a full picture here. Alright, there's still more to go. Holy shit. Acolytes traditionally spend years training with a single weapon of their choosing, but Cain mastered them all. To him, they were mere tools, and he was the weapon. Armor he viewed was some burden. Instead, cloaking himself in shadows and slaying his enemies with quickness and stealth. These swift executions instilled fear in the hearts of those fortunate enough to be spared. As Cain's legend grew, so did his arrogance. He truly believed that one day his power would eclipse even that of Zed himself. So his intention was to lead the Order of the Shadows. So which means he's trying to be stronger than Zed. It's basically like Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker to me right now. What this storyline is leading to. You get what I mean, you know? So this hubris led Cain to embrace his final test to seek out a Darkin. Oh shit! So the Order of the Shadow ordered Cain to seek out. Oh man, this is getting juicy. Recently unearthed in Noxus and prevent it, so that Darkin weapon Rast was located somewhere in Noxus and prevent it being used against the wary defenders of Ionia. Okay. He accepted without hesitation, never questioning why he had been chosen for this task. Indeed, where any other acolyte would have destroyed the living sky known as Ras, Cain took it for himself. Oh, the corruption took hold the moment his fingers closed around the weapon, locking them both in a fateful struggle. Ras has long awaited the perfect host in order to join its darkened brethren and lay waste to the world. But Cain will not be easily dominated. He returns to Ionia in truth. in triumph, convinced that Zed will name him the new leader of the Order of the Shadow. Ah, shit. Which is also surprising because Ross's weapon, Ross possesses the shadow, and Cain also possesses the shadow magic as well. So it kind of times two the power, which it is kind of cool and somehow really deadly as well. So that is how Cain is, which that is how, because I didn't know that Ross was located somewhere in Noxus, and that's how I think the Order of the Shadow knew where Ross was. Holy shit, this is getting really juicy right here. Alright, so we know how Ross actually appears. That's interesting as fuck. Now on to Varus. Our good old Varus boy. So, before we continue, let me just take a sip of water because my throat is fucking dry. Holy shit, sorry about that. Sorry, give me a moment, guys. Ah, yeah, I just love water. Alright. Varus, oh, wait, what? Oh, Varus, the Arrow of Retribution. Now, this is actually a really interesting one because he got locked up in the well. I have no idea why, but this would be interesting. Hang on, I just got a message here. Oh, it's my friend. Alright. One of the ancient race of Darkin, Varus was a deadly killer who loved to torment his foes with arrows, like you saw in the music video where he likes to shoot and then takes the soul out and then continues to do whatever he likes to do. So he's more like a soul eater, basically, driving them to insanity before closing for the kill. Possessed of wondrous beauty, Varus was imprisoned at the end of Darkin War. Oh, so okay. So, but escaped centuries later and remade flesh of two Ionian hunters. Oh, I was wrong. They are hunters. Oops. The two men was unwittingly released Varus and now bear the bow containing his bound essence. Varus, who now hunts those who trapped him in order to enact his brutal vengeance, but the souls bound within him fight him every step of the way. So that means the two couples who are inside Varus's body are still kind of like fighting to just like, you know, trying to deal with this thing. Basically, they're trapped in Varus's body, but they're still souls basically still fighting inside his body. So this is interesting. The mortal mages of Runeterra wielded wild magic, heedless of the consequences beyond their own world. Their reckless use of magic attracted the hunger of the Darkin. Oh shit, this is gonna be interesting. Who sent their fiercest warriors to conquer this new world. Varus traveled to Runeterra with the second wave of invaders, and with his crystalline bow, he assassinated enemy commanders and champions, helping the Darkin defeat the mortal armies with ever greater ease. Soon after Aatrox's fall, Varus was cornered by Versailles moonstalkers and human mages in service of a golden armored warrior queen. They bound him within his crystalline bow, leaving him. Oh shit! I just realized something. Which means, if you guys look at Aatrox's biograph, so Varus was with Aatrox. So Varus is one of the protectors ranks as well. But it's just that Aatrox's storyline was not updated. Varus's one was updated. They need to update Aatrox's storyline actually, which they should actually. So this is interesting. So Varus, Cain, and the other two Darkins, are also in the ranks of the Protectors. Basically trying to deal with the mage lords. So this is interesting. This is really interesting. At the end of the Darkin War is the queen. All right. So the queen, who is one of the Ionian, who is basically an Ionian as well, joining for basically this is like Lord of the Rings as well to me, is because it's like Lord of the Rings, those are allies with the humans, but the humans are like the Ionians, and the Vastayas are like the elves. You get what I mean? The reference here. This is getting interesting, guys. This is getting really interesting. Her last act was to imprison the bow deep within the lightless cell, sunk deep beneath a mountain temple overlooking the village of Palast. Okay. So they were fighting. The temple is up there on that hill. This is getting real interesting and juicy. There is remain imprisoned in the natural magic of Ionia and the ritual ministrations of its guardians. The bow remained hidden deep underground for centuries, unknown, untouched, and all but forgotten, until Noxian invaders. So they were invading Ionia. Two beast hunters, Velmar and his heart-like Kai, fought the first wave of these invaders at the Temple of Palas. So my bad. They're not brothers, but they're couples. Though their courage was great and drove off the attackers, Kai was mortally wounded, and grief-stricken Vel carried him inside, praying the temple's magic would restore him. But the temple helped only damnation, and both hunters were consumed by the unleashed power of the Darkin. That's because in the music video they kind of like jump in. Let me check my capture card. All right, okay, it's recording. Because Kai and Velmar was because Vel was trying to help Kai, and they both went into the well, and they didn't know. Like I said, I think they didn't know what would happen. They were expecting something to happen for Kai. I mean, Velma was expecting something to happen to Kai, basically trying to restore his body, trying to heal his body, but no. They didn't know that that temple was a prison. So, okay, this is getting interesting. The very matter of their bodies was unraveled and bound together in a warp and weft of new flesh to craft a perfect body fit to bear the soul of Varus. Like I said, is a living weapon, and the soul is inside the weapon itself. That's how Cain Arthrox, you get what I mean? What emerged from the temple was a Gestel creature, pale and humanly beautiful, part human, part Darkin. Varus was born an entity with a war of supremacy being waged in its soul. We're almost done, guys. The human and Darkin elements of this newborn body are in constant flux, with each element sometimes managing the rest control of the body for a short time before being reined by the other. Varus fights to overcome Vel and Kai's resistance once and for all. But yeah, Vel and Kai actually lost, but they're still fighting inside Varus's body. And for all, and that he may wreak vengeance on mortals for the destruction of his race. So Varus is pissed off by the humans because the humans were the ones who destroy the Darkins. So two other Darkins we don't know yet. Probably they are destroyed, or they still could be alive, but probably they're still alive out there somewhere. So let's continue. And Vel fights against his malevolent influence, hoping against hope that their love can overcome the Darkin's baser urges. Man, Vel and Kai. God damn it. How long Vel and Kai can keep Varus fool at bay is anyone's guess. But should this sadistic and egotistical Darkin killer come to fully dominate his new body, it is certain he will seek to reunite with the survivors of his race in hopes of reducing Runeterra into an ashen wasteland. This is interesting, boy. So we now know how full Varus truly is. Now, this is interesting. So, we don't know 2, because Aatrox's storyline is that there are 5 and 2 are missing. So, could be the 2, could be one could be using a whip, or it could be the other one using guns. But I have a feeling that they're not gonna come up with any more champions. Riot might not want to come up with any more champions because I think I overheard someone saying that Zoe is the last champion that they're gonna release. So probably the 2 last Darkins could be legendary skins. I might be wrong here, but this could be the answer. This could be true, but it is 80% true. I am not sure at all, but it could be. It really could be. So hope you guys enjoy. Please give a big thumbs up. Make sure to write on the comment section below, because this is interesting. Throughout the entire story here, this is somewhat really interesting, and I actually wouldn't mind touching it on, because one thing for sure, with War, who is Aatrox, who is basically Aatrox here, we have Death, who is basically Cain, the resemblance of Cain. We have left with Fury and Strife. So Strife, it could be Varus or could be Lucian. I'm not sure, guys. I'm really not sure. But this 4 right here represents the same exact thing to Varus, Cain, and Aatrox, except this guy. Fury is unknown just yet. We only know this 3. We only know this 2. Strife could, I might be wrong here, but Strife could resemble as Varus. I might be really wrong here. Forgive me on that one, but it could be true. So you know what? Hope you guys enjoy. Please give it a thumbs up. I'll be posting more League of Legends very soon. Probably today I might come out with a game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Please give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.